Alright, I'm back. And I decided for my sanity, I'm just going to do 3 or 4 of these classes in a row and just do 3 videos because that makes it a lot easier for me to upload on YouTube. Alright, so anyways, running through here, Death Knight. What is Death Knight got? Death Knight's big mechanic is plagues. So, they got a bunch of cards here that shuffle a random plague into your opponent's deck. The plagues are blood plague. They are all cast when drawn, take 2 damage, and either restore 2 health to the Death Knight, summon a 2/2, or your next card costs 1 more. So, plagues are... Okay, I'm low on shuffle cards. If you can get to the point where you have like 7 or 8 or 10 of these, then this can be really good, because then you'll at least get some of them. But mostly these cards are kind of attached to weak effects. And so overall, I'm not really the highest on Death Knight for the expansion. Alright, so let's start off, same thing as before. Let's start off with the cards here. Alright, common. So, Staff of the Premise. After hero attacks, shuffle a random plague into your deck. 3 mana, 1/3 weapon. That's mediocre. You got the plagues. Plagues are okay. They're a benefit, but I can't really go that high on just a 3 mana, 1/3 weapon, especially because Death Knights have a lot of better weapons. So I have that at 2 stars. Eulogizer. Battlecry. Spend 3 corpses to deal 3 damage. Forge, gain them instead. So you have Forge on 2. You play this on 3. Or you have so many corpses that you don't need to Forge to play this. Like, either way is fine. It's a 3 mana, it's 3/3, you're dealing with something. That's going to be a 4-star card. I'm not sure if it's 5. I'm not sure if it's 5, because again, you don't need to Forge for the effect, because you'll have corpses. But you do need to skip your 2 to get this off on 3, so it's a lot worse than like the Shaman. Deal 3 and do something cards. Northern Navigation. Discover a spell from your deck. If it's a frost spell, freeze a random enemy minion. Priest had to discover a spell in the previous set. That was about a 60-ish or so. So if it's a frost spell, freeze a random minion, I mean, that's okay. So I don't see that much from this card. They do have, I'll say it's 3 stars just because Death Knights do have good spells. Okay, next one, onto the rare, is Down with the Ship. Down with the Ship. 2 mana, deal 3 damage to a minion. If it dies, summon 2 random plagues in your deck. So only to minions. You get 2 plagues in the deck. And, I mean, it's 2 mana. It's a 2 mana removal. That's fine. That's 3 stars. Alright. Tomb Trader. Destroy a plague in your opponent's deck to deal 3 damage to all enemy minions. So, I have seen this card played against me. One time it went off and it was really annoying. Another time it did absolutely nothing because they only drafted 1 plague card that was in like the bottom half of their deck. So my rating for this is I'm under the assumption you're not going to reach for plague cards. That whenever you get a plague card, there is going to be a better card. That is my rating on this. That is why this is so low. You get plagues, this goes massively up. But I don't think you're going to reach for plagues. I don't think you're going to take plagues. I think you're going to skip the plague cards because most of them are just mediocre or okay. Frozen Over. Both players draw 2 cards. Your opponent cannot play them the next turn. So basically, your opponent cannot play 2 cards. It's a symmetrical effect that very, very tinily inconveniences your opponent. Like, it's 1 star. It should be 0 stars. Like, if someone says 0 stars, I don't care. Like, you do get 2 cards, and that might be what wins you games. And that's the reason it's 1 and not a 0. Alright. Next one, Distressed Cavalier. Death Rattles. Summon 2 mana, 3/2. Death Rattles. Shuffle 2 random plagues in your opponent's deck. Again, it's okay. I don't know why this is epic, but it's okay. It's a 2-drop with a minor effect. So, what's that? That's a 2-star. Chained Guardian. Rush Reborn costs 1 less for each plague shuffled into the enemy deck this game. I compare this to Stoneborn Commander, basically. Alright, so, number 1. All the plague cards shuffle plagues in either 2 or 3 into the opponent's deck. So this, if you have a plague card, this is either going to be 9 mana or 8 mana if another card has been activated. If you've got a few of these, then this can become a lot cheaper. So I'm valuing this kind of like if you have one and you've used it. So 9 mana or 8 mana. Stoneborn Commander was an 8/8 with Rush and Death Rattle Summon an 8/8. This is an 8/8 with Rush, Death Rattle Summon and 8/1. So better than Stoneborn Commander? No. Good? Yes. So I think that's it's like a borderline 4-star, 3-star card. I'll go 4 stars on this. I've seen this thing. This thing can be really, really annoying. So this thing can be really annoying. This can be game-changing. The potential of plagues, if you do go for them, for this to be a payoff, is really, really good. All right. Next card is the Primus. So this is 7 stars. All right. I don't think I really need to explain this, but so basically, you either remove something and get a giant board. You either summon 2 things on the board with Taunt and Reborn that really protect this, or you potentially discover a frost spell that costs 3 less, a spell damage plus 3, and you just completely wipe the board. I mean, the question is this better than the Scourge, and is this better than Margar? And I think so. I'm not 100% certain. I think so. I think the Scourge... I think Scourge is better, maybe. But okay, it's in that range. That's basically all you need to know. It's 7-star card. And then finally, Helya. Helya is the other legendary here. 4 mana 4/4, shuffle all 3 plagues in your opponent's decks. Plagues that draw this game are unending, which means the plague will go back into your opponent's deck. So, this works. Alright. Sorry, I was just looking at the flavor text. Anyways, if this works, this is obviously insane. You can build a deck around this. But it's a 4 mana 4/4, and then that's the problem. You want to build a deck around this. You want to build a deck that kind of stalls out, has plagues, so you just basically overrun your opponent with plagues that just eventually whittle them down. That's the point of this card. And for a 4 mana 4/4, I mean, that's good. I think that's 3 stars. I don't think by itself it's all that good, because I think you're going to get like maybe 1 plague, maybe 2 plagues that go off, but I'm not. So is that really all that great? I don't know. But if you do get this early and you do get a deck around it and you do have this not up against something like the Primus, then yeah, it's pickable, and that's the 3-star. It's a good card. All right. That's definitely. Next class we've got is Demon Hunter. So Demon Hunter really did not get all that much. I mean, the best way to describe it is they suck. I mean, they have arguably the worst Titan, and they arguably have cards that have a synergy that just does not exist in Arena. So, example of this. Argonite Golem has +1 attack for each card you've drawn this turn. If I am understanding it correct, this turn means means your turn. When it goes to your opponent's turn, that is their turn. You will not have 1 attack for every card you've drawn, which means it will go from a 2/5 to a 1/5. It's a 3 mana 1/5 on your opponent's turn, which they just kill with ease. And on your turn, it's 3 mana 2/5. And then you need and then what you basically need is you need this to live, and then you need like an insane pop-off turn for this to be worth it. Is this going to be worth it? No, it's not going to be worth it. This is a 1-star card. Like, it's something you take just because you have really no other options. Everything else is complete garbage. All right. Iridar Deceptor. 4 mana 3/5. When you draw a card, summon a 1/1 demon with Rush. So it's a 4 mana 3/5. You need to protect it, and the bonus is summoning a 1/1 with Rush. I mean, it's okay. Like, again, you need that pop-off turn to draw, which I don't think you're going to get in Arena. So ultimately for this, I would say 2 stars. Like it's okay, but I don't think you're going to get like that big pop-off turn, because, again, it has to live. Or you have to play this and then play a bunch of draw with it, and that's a little difficult with the cost. And then the third one here, what have we got? We have got Disciple of Arcus. 3 mana 2/2, Death Rattle, summon 2/2 elementals with Taunt. So, opponents can just basically ignore the 2/2, and then you play it and you get like 6/6 stats for 3 mana. I mean, that's good. That's definitely going to be a 4-star card for me. But it's not as good as something like the Shaman 2/2, the 5-mana 2/2 that summon, because that has taunt, so the opponent has to deal with it, or they just do nothing. So this one, the Disciple of Argus, there should be an R in there. Again, it's good, but it's a little bit slow, so I'm not really a big fan of it. Okay, onto the rares. Crystalline Statue. Rush starts dormant. After you draw 4 cards, this awakens. Again, this is Arena. You play this on 2. This is not going to happen until turn 6. Like, Druid had a card that was a 1-mana 4/4 with the same effect. That was Kelp Keeper. Kelp Keeper, you just had to play 5 mana worth of spells. I think that's this is an easier effect. That's an effect where that's more likely to go off. So again, you're paying 2 mana for this, so it's like, no. It's something you don't want. 2 stars. Momentum. There's Momentum. Okay, so it's going to cost 4, because you'll always draw 1 card. Warrior had Heroic Strike. Heroic Strike was 2 mana, and was mediocre in Old Arena. So you need to draw an additional 2 cards to make this a mediocre card in Old Arena, and really you need to draw 3 or 4 cards for this to be worth it. You're not going to draw 3 or 4 cards for this to be worth it. I mean, it's playable, it's pickable, but it's not good. It's 2 stars. Weight of the World. Alright, I went over this one before. The Forge effect is really strong. Divine Favor was strong. It's still strong. This is a ton of cards. So you pick this to get a ton of cards. I mean, that's good. That's high 3 stars for me. Just because you're probably going to get a decent amount of cards off of this, especially with the Forge effect. I mean, this is a card that can turn the game on its head for you. So I would say that's pretty good. That's 3 stars. Okay. Next one. Runic Adornment. Runic. Discover spell that costs 3 less. Shuffle 2 copies that are cast when drawn. So, number 1. Let's just go over here. I don't want this. I want 0, 1, 2, 3, and Demon Hunter, and Spell. So, I mean, this what are you going to get off of this? All right, Spectral Sight. You get to draw a card. I'm not sure if that. I don't think the Outcast trigger. I mean, Security is okay. Mark of Scorn is okay. You draw a card. Immolation Aura can screw you over. Chaos Strike, that's good. Unleash Fel, that's okay. So you're getting like a bunch of like deal 2 damage to a minion. That's not good. Discover an Outcast card. That's good. Lifesteal. You're okay. Draw a card for each friendly minion that's died this turn. That could just be potentially worthless. So, okay, point being, you're not really getting all that much. Like, you discover a spell. Usually these spells are not that great. The ones that are go into your hand are not that great. So, 2 mana discover a spell. That's bad. Again, 2 stars. Average. Maybe in Arena, some of these things can work. Mythical Terror. At the end of your turn, force all enemy minions to attack into this. So 7 mana, 3 mana. I compared the Mishmash Monster. It's cheaper and has life steal, but doesn't have the bonus attack. So good. Like it's kind of a weakish AOE at the point. I think it's 3 stars. I think it's not bad, but I don't think it's great. All right, on to the Primus. Argus. Minions to the left of this have rush. Minions to the right have life steal. So to the right of this, so you're going to get a 7 mana 5/9. So you have 3 options. Crystal Carving. Discover a Death Rattle minion. It costs 3 less. That's super weak. Show Force. Probably the one you're going to pick. Reduce the cost of all minions in your hand by 2. Again, like that's pretty weak for this. Argonite Army. This is the one you're probably going to pick. Summon 4 2/2 elementals with taunt. So this is similar to the whatchamacallit? The Shaman, what's the card? Not Behemoth. The Shaman Colossal has the body, and it grows with every minion that dies, and you got the 2/2s with taunt. So I mean that one was good, but that was kind of like one of the weaker Colossals. So like this is like the only good option here, and it's not bad. I mean you're still getting 8 worth of stats in the taunts, plus you get this, plus you have the bonus effect if this lives. But I think like overall, when you compare this to a lot of the other Colossals, I just don't see this being like this is a card I can play around. The other Colossals, they just win the game on the spot. If you have the fan on, the doors slam in my apartment. So overall, I think it's good, but it's not great. And that's the only reason I have this as 5 stars. I mean, good, but not great. And finally, last legendary for them, Jotun the Eternal. For the rest of the game, cast a copy of the first spell you draw each turn at enemies. So I already went over this. Many of these things are pretty weak. And like, let's just, like, what are you going to take here? Taste of Chaos, okay, cast an enemy and just deal 2. Okay. So like, it's the first spell you draw each turn. Like, Skull Gul'dan, you can't cast that enemy. It's like, you're not really going to get all that much. Like, maybe Expendable Performers. I know Expendable Performers is going to be insane, but I just don't see this, like, being all that great. I mean, it's bonus, definitely, but this is not like a game-turning bonus. So that's why it's 3 stars. I mean, it's a bonus, but it's not, like, going to break the game or anything for you. Going over to Druid. Druid has, basically, Sapling Synergy. They've got cards, or Treant Synergy. They've got a few cards here that turn Treants into better cards, or that get their cost reduced by Treants. So most of their cards are either cards that summon Treants, cards that get reduced by Treants, or possibly both. Okay, so let's run through, let's see what Druid has for that. So first, they also have a second mechanic, which I'll go into for the first card here. This is just like random mechanic here. Okay, 4 seedlings, summon 2 1/1 saplings, blossoms in 2 turns. Basically, if you hold this card for 2 turns, it's upgraded. It's Mana Thirst, basically. It's not Mana Thirst because you have to hold it, and Mana Thirst, like if you draw it, you can cast it. But, okay, holding a card I don't think is that bad. So, you can play this on 1, you get 2 1/1s, that's good. Or you can hold this, you play it on 3, you get 2 2/2s, and you got either a hero power or a 2-drop with it. I mean, both of those are really great. I think this is a great card. I think there's Sapling Synergy. You want to take these cards. I compare it to, whatchamacallit? Living Roots. Living Roots. What's better, deal 2 damage or pay 1 mana to summon 2 2s instead of 1/1s in a couple turns? And I think that's why I would take the 2 2s over the 2 damage. That's basically where I am with this. So that is why this is a 4-star card with the Blossom effect. All right. And come here. Next one, Lifebender's Gift. Whoopsie. Choose 1, get 2 random nature spells, reduce the cost of spells in your hand by 1. So basically, get 2 random nature spells. 2 mana, get 2 random cards. We've seen these cards happen a ton of times before. They're not really all that great, so that's why this one is only 2 stars. We've had many, many cards like this. This isn't. So we know that these are kind of like average. This is going to be average. Next one, Cultivation. Cultivation. Give your minions +2/+2, cost 1 less for each treant you've summoned this game. So you're going to summon a lot of treants. Let me go here. Let me get rid of spells. Druid. Like if you have treants here. So you got Fair Arborist, Blood Treant, Arbor Up, Witchwood Apple gives you treant, Soul of the Forest gives you treant, Drum Circles gives you treant. If we go saplings, like Living Roots gives you saplings. If we go Ancients, they also count. Ancient of Lore counts, Timber Tambourine counts, Rhythm and Rune counts. So basically, I think you are going to get this with 4. I think 4 is reasonable to get, and so that's why I have it as 3 stars. And even if it's only like 2, it's not horrible. It's not unplayable. I don't think this is unplayable. There are going to be times where you just need that little bit of burst, and this will provide it for you. Okay, next one, Embrace Nature. Went over this. 1 mana Discover is good. That's going to be in the 70s. So, like, well, it's not 1 mana. It's 1 mana draw. Sorry. 1 mana, draw a choose 1 card. So, you need, 1 mana Forge, it has both effects combined. I think you're going to have choose 1 cards. So, and there are certain cards that can just win the game on the spot for you. That's why this one is 3 stars. Conservator Nymph. 3 mana, 3/4, Battlecry, transform friendly treant into a 5/5 ancient with taunt. So again, most of your treant cards are cheap cards. You can play saplings. You can play saplings on 1. You can play blossoms on 1. Coin this out on 2. Get a 5/5 taunt that your opponent has to run into, plus a 3/4. I mean, if you don't get anything, it's a 3/4. And then you can't always just wait. You can't always just not play this and then play with like one of your cards later on. So overall, I think this is a 4-star card. I think this is great. I think like this can blow out games, and this is almost always going to be like a great card for you. Frost Lotus Seedling. Draw a card, gain 4 armor, blossoms in 3 turns. So if you hold this for three turns, it's an arcane intellect that gains 8 armor. All right. Overall, like cards like this, you're probably going to hold them. Just because you don't want to draw cards immediately. You only want to draw them in certain situations. So, Arcane Intellect plus 8 armor, I mean, that's fine. I think AI might be better in some cases. I think this might be better in some cases. I think they're roughly equivalent, which is 2 stars. Disciple of Eonar. Your next choose 1 card has both effects combined. 1 second, let me get rid of this. Let's go to mechanics, choose 1. So, 4 mana, 4/4. So the battle cry is good. I think, did I underrate this? I may have underrated this. I'm thinking about it. But most of them, it's just going to be kind of like a 1 mana effect. So, like I'm running through, what are the insane ones? Is like Nourish is obviously insane. Druid of the Claw is obviously insane. Power Wild Ant, Drum Circle is insane if you don't have anything on board. Most of these, Fair Arborist, doesn't matter, you're going to get that. Beetlemancy, you're not picking. Feral Rage, you're not picking. So, you can kind of see you're not really getting. Like, Flipper Friends is like the card which I use as like the absolutely insane put things together card. And that doesn't exist. Therefore, I don't think this is going to be all that great. Better meta, better cards, maybe. But I don't think there's enough synergy for this. So, 3 stars. Ancient of Growth. 7 and 5/5, summon 3/2/2 treants, transferring treants into 5/5 ancients with taunts. So if you got 2 treants on the board like this plus blossoms, you play blossoms, you take this, you turn your ancients into taunts. I mean, that's really good. Otherwise, it's just like a board card. Board cards are good. We've seen plenty of cards like Party Up that have similar effects, or like Tiny Toys. I mean, I think this is a 4-star card. I don't think it's better than some other cards, but like this, it's a good card. If you get the right meta for it, 4 stars. If you get the right meta for it, it's going to be great. All right. Titan, Eonar the Lifebinder. After this uses an ability, summon a 5/5 ancient with taunt, which I think I missed when I initially rated it. So you've got a 10 mana with a 5/7 and a 5/5 ancient with taunt. And so what do you get? Spontaneous Growth. Draw cards until your hand is full. 10 mana, so you draw cards, but you can't use them. Alright, so then this is a better Miracle Growth, kind of. I'd say a better Miracle Growth with this. Bountiful Harvest. Restore your hero to full health. I mean, that's going to be useful. Flourish, refresh your mana crystals. So you get to play a bunch of stuff. I think probably Spontaneous Growth and then just burn a card. And then, if it lives, Flourish because you have a full hand. That's probably it. Or Bountiful Harvest, which is, again, not bad. So, I missed the 5/5 Ancient with Taunt. So, I've already said this. So, that's like one of those things where I didn't read it correctly. So, I'm saying this is a 6-star card. I'm saying this rating is wrong. I'm saying my write-up is wrong about this. Because I missed that it had the extra 5/5 with Taunt effect put on it. All right, and then the legendary Freya, Keeper of Nature. Duplicate your hand or summon a copy of all other minions. So here's the problem. Duplicate your hand for an 8 mana 4/6. You're getting at most 5 cards. Summon copies of all other friendly minions. You're getting at most 3 other minions. So, useful, yes. Good, yes. Is it going to break the game? No, this is a 3-star effect. That's just a problem. Like, you're probably going to get value out of this. There are going to be cases where you can't play this. There are going to be cases where this is going to be valuable. But I don't. It's not like there's better cards out there. Okay. Hunter, and then this one will be the last one for this video. So the last one here. So Hunter, what Hunter got is basically a version of Big Hunter. Druid, a long time ago, had synergy if you had 5 or more attack. Druid has a little bit of synergy with 4 attack, this set. Minions with 4 attack. So we'll go right into the Druid cards. We'll see how these cards are here. Alright. So first card for Druid is going to be kind of like the basic card that sets a lot of this up. Awakening Tremors. Get 3 4/1 worms, they cost 1. I compare this to just had Druid. The Druid card, something Apple. Witchwood Apple, I believe. Witchwood Apple. Witchwood Apple is 1 mana, get 2 2/2 minions. This is 1 mana, get 3 4/1 minions. So which one is better? Like, if we're doing a direct comparison, it depends. There's Treant Synergy versus Big Synergy. I think 3 4/1s is better than 2 2/2s. And so that's the reason why, for me, it's 4 stars. If Witchwood Apple is like right on the edge of 4 stars, this is better than that. Alright. Next one is, where is it? Fable Stableland. Rush. If you control a minion with 4 or more attack, get 2/2. So on curve, are you going to do it? No, that's what keeps it down for me. You're going to have maybe with Awakening Tremors. So overall, like, you're going to have to wait later into the game to get the 5/5 rush. So is this better than like the 4/4 rush that deals damage to you? I don't think so. So overall, I think that this is a 3-star card. Good. Late game, this is going to be really good. Maybe you can get this off on curve, but I don't think it's that great. Bait and switch. When a friendly minion is attacked, give it +3/+3. So if you're playing against Druid, if you're playing against Hunter, Hunter traps. Actually, here. Let me go back over here so I can get rid of choose 1. So I've got it set here. Hunter plus trap, secrets. No, is it set to minions or something like that? I don't know. There, that's why. Secrets. Mechanic, secret. So you run through the Hunter secrets. Like, you got Freezing Trap, Hidden Meaning, Wandering Monster, Explosive Trap, Zombies, Cat Trick, Pack Tactics, Eddings. So you got like Pack Tactics. So you get 3/3 worth of stats on it. You've got so you got cards that impact face. So Explosive Trap impacts face. Wandering Monster impacts face. Pack Tactics impacts minion that you attack. So you've got secrets that kind of, like, it doesn't do anything new. That's basically what I'm going to be at. Hunter secrets, like, they have a redundancy, and that's what kind of, like, hinders them. So I don't think this is that great overall, because your opponent, if they're smart, they can control it, they can play around it. So that's ultimately why, for me, I have it as a borderline 3-star card. I think it's okay, but I don't think it's great. Observer of Myths, probably the best card Hunter got. The card's going to change the game for them. 2 mana 1/4, after you summon a minion with more attack than this, give all friendly minions +1 attack. So you coin this out on 1, you play a 2/3 on 2, you've got a 2/4 in this, and you've got a 3/4 in the Beast. You play a 3-drop that has 3 attack. Then you've got a 3/4, a 3/3, and a 4/4. And it keeps on going like that. Obviously, the combo is this. So you play this, and you get this, and they get all a bunch of attack. So you play this, you play 3 of these, and this goes up to a 4/4, and then you've got a 7/1, a 6/1, and a 5/1. So this is basically a Bloodlust for 2 mana that also puts a body on the board. It's always going to trigger. If Hunter, you want that burst damage, you want that damage that goes face. I think this is great. I think this is a 4-star card. I think this card is going to just win games for you. Alright, Titan Forge Traps. Discover, cast a secret, forge, do it twice. So, I value this highly because of Freezing Trap. Again, we go through the traps here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 secrets in there. So you've got a 5 out of 8 chance to not get a Freezing Trap, followed by, I believe, what's going to be a 4 out of 7. So it's like you're probably going to have like a 70% chance or something to get Freezing Trap plus one other thing. And it's just going to I think the potential is high to screw over your opponent or to do something. Mage has the card, what is it? It's a rare Ring Toss, which is basically the same thing. Corrupt, get 2 Mage Secrets. Hunter Secrets are worse than Mage Secrets, but you can get this on curve. You can coin this on 1 and get this on 2, and your opponent has basically nothing to do. Or you just forge it on 4 and then play this, and this is going to be great for them. So I think this is a card you always forge. I think it's great. I think it's a 4-star card. That's basically it. Mostly because of the value in getting the Freezing Trap. Always a big urgent 1 card. Give a minion +2 attack and excess damage hits the enemy hero. You play this on something that has Rush, then you've got a good combo there. You can play this for burst. You can play this for burst. You can play this for trading. I don't think it's better than Arcane Shot or any. Sorry. Why did I think it was going? Let me rephrase. Why did I think that this had cleave? It doesn't have cleave. So basically, is this better than Arcane Shot? No, that's the key thing here. You can play it for burst if you put it on a minion. You can play it to trade up. I think that's okay. I probably overrated this. This probably is a 1-star card. I do think it's a 2-star card. I think it's okay. Like, you put this on something to just basically deal extra damage to the face. And so I figured it out. I remember the reason why I rated it. So you put it on something like, instead of having like a 6 attack thing go face, you can have like an 8 attack thing hit a minion and for like 2 health or whatever, take out the small minion, and then do all the extra damage face. So this can be useful in that respect. That's, I think, why I had it as like a 2-star card. I had to remember my reasoning there. All right, Epics, Starstrung Bow. Cost 1 less for each friendly secret that triggered this game. Our secret's going to trigger? Probably not. It's still 12 damage for 6 mana. And maybe it can get to 5 or 4 if you've got like the Titan Forged traps. So I think Hunter, they need this burst. So overall, I'd say 3 stars. Absorbent Parasite. Magnetic Rush can magnetize to mechs and beasts. So the problem with magnetic is that you generally want magnetic things that don't have summoning sickness. I mean, that can add on to this. But if you're magnetic... how would I say this? You want the minion already on the board before you magnetic. So the rush, many times, may not apply. Same thing with beasts. You're paying 2 mana for the beast, and you're paying for it to rush, but it's kind of like a weird stat thing. So it's one of those, it's like, it's good, definitely. Is it great? I think the stats are weird. I think the magnetic effect is weird because it also has kind of a rush on it. So, that's where I'm at. Okay. The legendary Hoder, Father of Giants. Set the stats of the next 3 minions you play to 8/8. I compare this to like a Rhythm and Roots. Rhythm and Roots, that is the Druid card. That's the Druid legendary. You pay 4 mana, and you have to wait 3 turns to either get 3/5/5 Ancients, or you have to wait 4 turns to get 4 3/8/8 Giants. So this is later. You pay an 8/8 now. You take a little tempo loss, but then the next turn you get 24/24 in stats. Better Scourge? No, but is this still insane? I think this is absolutely insane. There's things like a Hollow Hound, which I mentioned, which basically gives you a full heal on it. There's things that have Rush. There's like the only thing holding this back from being a 7-star card is that how late you have to hold on it. How late you have to wait on this. My voice is getting hoarse from doing all this talking. Finally, last card. Agrimar the Avenger, Titan. Equip a 3/3 weapon. So just basic 3/3 weapon with nothing on it. And then your abilities. Maintain order. Give your weapon after hero attacks, draws a card. So 3/3 weapon, draw 3 cards. Commanding Presence. Give your weapon after hero attacks, summon a 3/3 Enforcer with Taunt. Maybe you need that to protect this. Swift Slash. Give your weapon +2 attack, and your hero is immune while attacking. So this is where I say Firelands, but better. Because what you get is you get a 5/3 weapon where you're immune while attacking, plus you get a 3/7 minion, plus if the 3/7 minion lives, you get another bonus to it. So it's like if Firelands is there, this has to be better than Firelands, which puts it immediately in the 110s. And then there's times when you don't need the removal, you just need to draw. So drawing a card can help you out. I don't think you're ever going to pick the Taunt. I think the Taunt is always going to be kind of like the last resort. Because, like, if this is going to get removed, the Taunt isn't really going to help it. But, again, overall, I think insane card. Like most of the... It's not as broken as some of the other Titans, but it is really, really, really strong. So, overall, I have this as 7 stars. And I forgot to delete the rest of my cards there, which I meant to. All right. That is it. That is it for 4 classes. That's it for Death Knight, Demon Hunter, Druid, and Hunter. I will be back with 4 more classes in the next video. See you then.